I'm Ricky, and welcome to today's edition of the Mouse Bites. Now, the Mouse Bites are your latest Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, and Universal Orlando news. Now, today we are going to be talking a little bit about the coronavirus. So I know that a lot of people are worried about this virus that is basically sweeping the globe, and so I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about what Disney is doing as far as the virus is concerned. So as you may know, the coronavirus has become a more widespread concern, and as part of Disney's commitment to health and well-being of their cast members, as well as the guests and the larger community, they are carefully monitoring this evolving situation and are in regular contact with health agencies for information and guidance. Disney states that our parks and resorts are welcoming guests as usual, and we continue to implement preventative measures in line with the recommendations of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, as well as other health agencies. Now, the parks and resorts have a high standard of cleanliness, which assists with the illness prevention, and the health and safety protocols that are in place include training cast members with ongoing reinforcement on a regular basis, defined cycles for frequent cleaning and disinfection of targeted areas, easy access to hand washing facilities and hand sanitizers, quick response to spills, trash, and other situations, end of the day sanitation procedures for restrooms, kitchens, and other facilities, and frequent cleaning and wash down of outdoor locations, including walkways and queues. Now, additionally, there is on-site teams that are there communicating with cast members about the illness prevention, including the guidelines for the CDC. And of course, the CDC recommends that everyday prevention includes, of course, staying home when sick, washing hands, often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, and following proper respiratory cough etiquette, and avoiding close contact with people who are sick. And also avoiding touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Of course, we all know that's a lot easier said than done, right? So Disney Cruise Line is also being impacted as well, especially with the news that the State Department came out with about how they did not want basically U.S. citizens, especially those who were potentially impacted, to sail on cruise ships. However, as of this weekend, Disney is sending out letters to people who are sailing in the next few months, letting guests know that they are taking proactive steps related to the coronavirus and that they are following guidance from health officials and port call authorities, because the health and safety of their guests and crew are a primary focus. Disney Cruise Line is also committed to keeping guests informed and updated, and they'll be happy to address any concerns that you may have both in advance of your cruise as well as once you're on board. Now, according to a letter that was sent out to people who are cruising in the next few months, the following guidelines have been updated to include temperature checks for all guests prior to boarding and additional guidance for guests sailing to the Bahamas and Jamaica. These guidelines are likely to continue to change over time as additional details become available, but as of right now, any guest or crew member who has traveled to or through China, including Hong Kong, Macau, South Korea, Italy, Iran, or Japan, within the past 14 days of departure before their cruise will not be able to board any of the Disney Cruise Line ships. Any guest or crew member who has been in contact with someone from those areas, including guests with connecting flights in those locations, will also not be allowed to board, nor will anyone who has helped care for someone who is suspected of having the COVID-19 virus will be able to board the ship as well. Guests who have their air travel booked through Disney Cruise Line will automatically have their flights rebooked on an alternate route, and guests who book their own travel agents should contact their airlines directly to make appropriate changes. As is always Disney's practice, they screen all guests and crew members before they board, and anyone who feels unwell with gastrointestinal or flu-like symptoms will not be permitted to sail beginning Friday, March 6th. So that was on this past Friday. All guests and crew members will have their temperature checked by a nurse with a no-touch thermometer prior to boarding. Additional medical screening will be required for anyone with a temperature of 100.4 and for greater 100.4 or greater, and they will, along with their travel party, may not be able to sail. If your cruise includes a stop in Nassau or Castaway Cay, please note that the Bahamas will not allow anyone to disembark in any Bahamian port if they have been to China, South Korea, Italy, or Iran in the last 20 days prior to arrival. These guests and crew members may be able to sail, but will be unable to visit the Bahamas. If your cruise includes a stop in Jamaica, please note that in addition to the locations noted above, officials there will also not allow guests who have traveled to and from Singapore within the past 14 days of arrival to disembark. Those guests will be unable to sail. In any of these situations, if any of these situations apply to you, please contact a Disney Cruise Line so that options can be discussed. Now, in addition, guests who are scheduled to sail between now and May 31st, 2020 can now change their reservation up to the day before embarkation and receive a 100% cruise credit to be used for future sailing within 12 months of their original sail date. That credit is non-refundable and standard prevailing rates will apply. Guests will continue to be provided with information as the coronavirus situation evolves, and your patience and understanding is appreciated. Again, we will make sure to share as much up-to-date information as we have with you about the coronavirus and what you need to know as far as Disney is concerned. So if you have any questions, make sure if you're going to be sailing on Disney Cruise Line, make sure you contact Disney Cruise Line. That's going to do it for all the news that I have for you today. Make sure you are following along with the Mouse for Less on all of our social sites. So if there is news that gets broken about the coronavirus, we'll make sure to have that for you. So make sure you're following on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest, and otherwise, we'll see you the next time on The Mouse Bites. Have a great day, everyone.